It's 9 o'clock! It's a Saturday morning! Yes! It can only mean one thing! It's time for the Monster Magic Saturday Show! Let's do this!
Wake up, it's a beautiful morning. Feel the sun shining for your eyes.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Good morning, people! I hope you're all ready for a weekend of joy, fun and magic. The sun is up. It's gonna be a scorcher. It's not. It is freezing. But that's living in England, and that's why we're so chuffed to have seasons, aren't we? And this is one where it's woolly jumpers, mittens and scarves. I've got a terrific show. Genuinely very, very excited about almost everything in the show today. So let's start with one of my favourite creators. It is Canon by David Regal. I think in the past, if you ever watched me on the Prop Dog Lives, I have been very open about my respect and in awe of David Regal. His books from Star Quality, I think was his first book with Harry Lorraine, which I've probably... Here it is. Complete inspiration for me at the very, very start of my magic career. Yeah. It's a terrific book. And then he had Approaching Magic, which again was a massive influence on me. He's got his Constant Fooling books, and then he had Interpreting Magic. All of those books are absolutely terrific, brilliant, filled with great ideas, great concepts, and things that what I really like about his magic, and this is very true of Canon, is he gives you ideas, he might give you a gimmick, and he shows his ideas for it, but he can let your imagination run wild and really, really create some amazing things. And Canon is a new thing from him, and it is a card prediction effect. You show someone all the faces of a deck of cards and ask them just to name any card in the deck, and it is a completely free choice. Let's just say they choose the 7 of Hearts, which is quite common. You take that out of the deck, and you then point to an envelope that has been on the table the entire time. You show both sides of the envelope, you open the envelope, or have the spectator open the envelope, and out you tip a complete matching card. It is brilliant, and it looks really, really clean. What you get in here, it's a lovely box, is the envelope. Now this envelope, is interesting enough, isn't actually constructed yet, and that's because you can gimmick it in your own way. I can't show you the other side because the other side is boldly gimmicked. And just talking about this envelope, it does exactly what you need it to do. You'll get a bit of a chuckle when you see the other side, but believe me, it works a treat. And the reason you can actually buy these envelopes as well. David, in his explanation, tells you exactly which envelopes these are if you want to buy new ones, so that you can gimmick them in various different ways. And one way you gimmick them is what you put on this the other side of this envelope, which is one of these 2 stickers that you get. Personally, I would go for this one. So what you have, you can flash both sides of the envelope. Obviously, one side of the envelope they can stare at. The gimmicked side you can flash. You can show it to them. You don't want them to dwell on it too much. And out of these 2 stickers, personally, I would aim for something like this, because you can write on here, and that will draw their attention towards this sticker and away from any possible irregularities in the side of the envelope. But David has some nice subtleties throughout the routine of just sort of casually flashing both sides of the envelope to make it appear completely legit. So that is the envelope covered. And throughout this, David will point out that this is his solution. It's a great way of doing it, but you're not limited to this envelope. So you can use, obviously, Matthew Wright's marvelous nesting envelopes if you've already got those as an alternative. You can also use pretty much any no palm wallet. David obviously mentions his COP wallet, why wouldn't he? Which is a fairly similar basis to this actually. And also he mentions, you know, the Real Man's wallet. There are lots and lots of no palm wallets. The JWell Plus wallet is also a no palm wallet. And no matter which you choose, it's very, very easy to do. There's no palming involved at all. So don't worry about that. If you can hold a deck of cards and you can turn a deck of cards over, you'll be absolutely fine. But this is the bit of Canon I love. Might call it the Canon deck. It is, I believe it's probably specially printed, thinking about it. It is like a mini Teckle deck, but with all 52 faces, if that makes any sense. It's the best way I can describe it. You can spread the deck for them to just pick one. They can even push it out of the spread if you want. Then have to gather them up. There's no real sleight involved. You've instantly got the match of their selection in your control, ready to load wherever you want. And that is the beauty of this deck. It is an incredible idea. And like I was saying with his books, you can really, really run with this. If you need a duplicate of someone's freely selected card, this is the deck for you, with one proviso: the card, your prediction card, is not examinable. So the one big thing about all of this is none of it is examinable at all. So even the card that you pull out of the deck, their selection from this deck isn't examinable. Neither is your prediction card either. So if you've got grabby friends, you're gonna have to keep these cards somewhere in your control. Put them in, put the one she's picked in, or they've picked, in the top pocket like that. Then produce one from the envelope. They can control this. They can open this envelope and so on. But you've got to take the card or just put it onto the table and pick it up and put it matching next into your thing like that. If you're producing it from your wallet, obviously hopefully you've got to do it up here, and you produce it up here and then go put it back for the next performance or whatever it might be. So that is the one drawback. These cards aren't examinable. The envelope's not examinable, but the routine opens up a world of opportunities for predictions. Using the basic method, it's easy to do. I don't think there's an easier matching card where the location of the matching card has been on display the entire time. And I can't remember one. Anyway, super brilliant thinking. It is quite bold in many ways, but you know, you're covered, and it's angle proof pretty much, as long as you keep this envelope on the table. Really like just the simple basic handling. But David does teach an advanced handling which uses COP palm, which is the easiest palm. I feel it's the easiest palm anyway. I use it quite a lot for card to pocket, and you'll be so amazed at the angles you can get away with, and you don't have to worry about it. People aren't burning you. And also you're not holding out for very long, so you don't get a massive sense of guilt and your face going red, and you don't start panicking. So if you are quite new to palming, this is probably one worth trying. For the card box one, he does include an extra gimmick that you can use if you want. It's up to you. But also this deck, although this is obviously a Blue Rider deck, it can be made to match any deck you like. So all you need is probably just to take the jokers or whatever, and you can make this deck match whatever you like, whether it be cohorts or a new fancy Gremlins style, Star Wars style bicycle deck, whatever you want, this deck can match it. It's an any card prediction system. I love the fact they can choose any card. There's no narrowing down. It's a lot of fun to perform. You can really milk your performance as well, because obviously you're pretty much doing no sleights whatsoever. It's $31.99. It's Canon by David Regal. Next up, we've got CandyMan by Tobias Dostal. I was expecting to hate this. I really was. I think any tricks with sweets, I don't know, for some reason, really, really puts me off. But this, I was just watching the tutorial, and ideas came flooding into my head, and just how powerful the effects can be, and how versatile this little gimmick is terrific. The main effect is that you show you've got 3 candies, 3 sort of Skittles, shall we call them? Let's call them Skittles. 3 Skittles. You tip them into your left hand, and you ask a spectator to hold out their hand, and you vanish them from one hand, and the spectator can feel them materialize under their hand into your hand. It's a blinder. I love the idea that they can feel these Skittles appear as they've put their hand on yours, and they sort of rub your hand. You can feel them materialize. I mean, that's the word for it, materialize, which is a great idea. And that sort of sense of touch and not being able to see what's happening is often far more powerful than a visual production. But you can also visually produce them if you want. The gimmick is an old method that's usually applied to just one little thing, and to use it with multiple objects and to have them smaller really does help with lots and lots of things you can do with it. So it's a brilliant old concept taken and made into something fresh, and in many ways more versatile, and just, you know, more organic, certainly, because everyone knows what Skittles are, and obviously you can pretend to throw them in your mouth and then have them appear back into your hand. Lots and lots of things you can do with it. Think about any coin trick or whatever that requires a false transfer and things. You've got a very clean false transfer here. You've got a very clean visual appearance if you want, or like you say, the materializing under their hands. What I will say about it is that it's knacky. There's a little bit of a setup you're going to have to do to sort of customize it just for you, but Tobias runs all through that. He also runs through sort of repairing it and customizing it if you want to. And what you get in here, so you do get all the stuff to do all that with. Let me open it up. Quite hard for me to show exactly what you get, but you get some sweeties, and you also get this little pouch, which has also got some stuff in it. And this pouch helps with your get ready, because that was my big concern actually whilst I was watching the whole thing. I was thinking, but how on earth do you get into it and get out of it? And this pouch helps with that, and it's a really neat, nifty bit of thought. And that's the instruction card. The tutorial's 30 minutes long, and he teaches all the basic moves for a lot of it, and then he runs through the hand materialization routine, and then he goes off, and you'll know that his mind has probably been exploded. He's been playing with this a lot, but you can even sort of juggle with them. So you could do sort of nine Skittle juggling over the shoulder, and all manner of great things with it. So even if it's just a little bit of a show off jokey skill, or you want to do the trick, it's brilliant. He also teaches how to get into it without using the pouch, which again is a bit knacky. Well worth learning. I can't help but think people will be having a lot of fun with this, even if you just toss it into your mouth and blowing them back into your hand. It's great fun to play with. It's really enjoyable to do. The effects are super strong, clean visually, I can't say enough about it. It's the sort of thing that I think John Cornelius would have loved to have come up with. It is a big surprise to me how much I like CandyMan by Tobias Hill for $31.99. And now we've got Choice Box by Ledda, Didier and TCC. It will come as no surprise to you that this is a beautifully made prop by TCC, and as the name suggests, it's a way of forcing a piece of information or a prediction. What you have is this wooden box that's face down on the table, and you ask your participant to name any number between 1 and 4. It is a completely free choice. You then turn over the box to show you've got 4 compartments numbered 1 to 4. You show that the 3 predictions they didn't pick were great prizes or bad prizes. It's up to you. And the one that they've picked is the opposite. They've either won something great or they've won something a lot easier for you to provide. It is a really, really great idea. It is a terrific idea. It's a sort of all based on mechanics. There's no electronics. It's a beautiful wooden box, as you can see. It doesn't come with the numbers already on. You get the numbers in here and you've got to apply them yourself. Be careful with that, because this is not easy to get the number. You've got small hands to get those numbers in, and to align them is a bit difficult. But it's great. It's got a really nice weight to it. It's a beautiful looking thing, and it works really on how you pick it up. It's entirely mechanical and self-working. The only issue I've really got with it is that it does talk. So you've got to be careful when you're turning it over to either mask any noise from the box. It's not a massive noise. Or to turn the box slowly and gently, no sudden movements, as that will accentuate it. But it is wood, moving on wood, so there is an element of torque. If I can, if I don't know if you heard that. I don't know. That's about, so that's the level of the noise. I think it was very close to my microphone, to be fair. So that's all you've got to worry about. But that is, I mean, that's quite fast to move it around anyway. But it's delightful. And I think because it's wood and it looks so solid, it is a really, really fooling way of doing your predictions. The tutorial is fairly short. It's only about 11 minutes long. It explains exactly what size the paper billets are, the predictions need to be, how to make them from an ordinary piece of A4 paper, and talks about a few routine ideas. But, you know, obviously it's up to you. To what you predict is entirely up to you. It's a great, interesting object to have on the table. It looks kind of old-fashioned and seance-y, so if that's your style, it'll be fantastic. It's pretty much foolproof. It's easy to do, and it's a beautiful, beautiful object. It doesn't really fit my style, unfortunately, but if it did, I would be thrilled. It is the Choice Box by TCC, $51.99. And now we've got the Telepathy card set by Chazpro Magic. And this is based on an idea by who has become one of my favourite creators, Tan Hock Schwan, who in the 50s and 60s was a big contributor to a lot of the magazines and the journals back then. And it is, well, it's a telepathy card system. You get the cards in blank cards as well. If you want to gimmick them, you can write ESP symbols on here if you want, and also a coloured set, and you get the envelopes as well. And the envelopes are, everything is completely examinable right from the start. And the effect is each envelope has a coloured card put in it. You can ask your spectator to choose any envelope or card that they want, turn it over, put it back in the envelope, mix the envelopes up as much as they want, give them a good shuffle. Doesn't matter what they do with them. You then deal them back down on the table, and you know which one they have chosen. Okay, now like I'm saying, it doesn't matter how they mix them. It's very, very clever. It's very, very subtle as well, which means that all of this stuff can be completely examined. It is all absolutely legit. And if you wanted to, you could have numbers on here, star signs, ESP symbols, like I say, so you can frame the presentation however you want. And that is really the crutch of this, is that you can tell what one they've selected. How you make that into an entertaining presentation is up to you. There are ideas. The instructions are written. It's 2 sides of A4. So they are there. There is a list of effects that are sort of explained. Once you know the method, the presentations are really all you need. The method is the same for all of them. The method, which is attributed to Bob Philman, is very, very clever. And it's not done, don't know how to tell you, but it uses one of your senses, but it doesn't use sight. So it's nothing to do with the orientation of the envelopes. It's nothing to do with any markings. There's nothing to see. There's really nothing. There is no way, even when you know the secret, you have to train yourself a little bit. And that is the one thing about this, which is also quite good fun. You have to practice to be able to do it. And you're not really learning anything. You're just sort of training your body and learning to trust yourself, because there's no, when you can see something, then there is a saying about, if I can see it, I believe it. That's paraphrased badly. But because you can't see it, you really do have to trust yourself that you've got it right. Just one of those things you've got to learn and just practice until you do nail it 100% of the time. It's a great, great concept. The only real concern is that these cards might get damaged. I would store them in something. I'd store them in a tin. And really, it's then about how you present it in an entertaining manner. It is really, really baffling. And you can repeat it. They can choose different cards. So nothing to worry about there. If you're doing it for friends and family, it can always be a different card and always be a different colour. It's a completely free choice that they have. That opens up, a lot of possibilities. If you do find yourself that you like it a lot and you want more cards or more envelopes, just buy another set. That's only $15.99. It's easy to do once you've got the knack, once you've got the practice. That is Telepathy cards by Chazpro Magic. And have I saved the best to last? Quite possibly, but it's a tough week. But this is so much fun. It is the amazing Knife Through Arm by David. What am I talking about? It's the amazing Johnathan's Knife Through Arm. Before you go any further, I think you might be tempted to buy this. I apologise in advance because it is £157.99. So if you don't want to be tempted, if you don't want to be getting your credit card out, put it away now. Sit on it. Because this is a lot of fun. If you're willing to get messy and mess up someone else's house, this is the trick for you. It's the classic Knife Through Arm. You display a knife. You can have the knife touched and sort of vaguely inspected to know that it's a solid steel blade. You then run it across your arm with a little trickle of blood coming out. You then thrust it all the way through your arm, give it a good wobble, and then pull it out, wipe away the blood, and let everyone know that it's been a trick. It is the most horrific comedy that you can get. Really, how much blood you produce. Obviously, now David Johnathan was a very over the top. Not David Johnathan, the amazing Johnathan was very over the top in his performances. Go back and watch him on YouTube. He's absolutely hilarious, a complete comedy nut job, absolutely crazy. If you're going to try and steal his performance, make sure that fits you and that fits the rest of your show. That is the only real thing about this, is that if you do it like David Johnathan and the rest of your, not David Johnathan, if you do it like the amazing Johnathan and you haven't done the rest of your show like the amazing Johnathan, it's going to be very odd indeed. So how you perform it is down to you. This is the knife. It's absolutely brilliant. It's gorgeous. The fact that the handle is narrow is really good. The blade is very solid. It's not sharp. It is dulled, obviously, for safety reasons. Otherwise, you would actually cut your hand and there'd be no need for any of the magic. And it is possibly, well, almost certainly the most fooling of any of them. The most legit knife looking. I mean, that is beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely terrifying. And at the end of the tutorial, I'll run through what's on the tutorial in a minute, but the really nice bit and the really great surprise for me was the amazing Johnathan is on at the end, obviously quite late in his life. he does his explanation for it, how he sets it up, and he's got this really nice bit that I don't think Dan shows, where he actually puts the point of the knife like that and has the blood trickle down the blade and out to create a nice little pool of blood. That little poke, you know, I probably dusted over it when I saw him perform it, but it is a great sell. And then obviously you've got the whole knife through arm business. The tutorial is mostly Dan Harlan. It's 40 minutes long. 20 minutes of that is, genuinely speaking, making the blood, which is the way to go, as the amazing Johnathan points out. Theatrical blood, very, very expensive. You could be using a lot of it, even in one performance, hopefully. The more blood, the better, let's face it. So it teaches you how to make it, which is very easy to do. Everything you can buy it from the shops, just sort of 3 ingredients, no problem at all. Then talks about how you load it into the knife to make sure everything's legit. There's a little bit of the setup of the knife to customize it to your hands and where you want everything. The amazing Johnathan at the end also covers how to customize it. So if you've got particularly small hands, how to adjust it for that. Then as far as the performance and how to use it, talk about whereabouts on the arm it should be for the best effect. Different for everybody, but obviously you don't want to make it look as strong as possible. You want a nice little twist of flesh as it's going through, stuff like that. And as Dan points out, most of the time this will be the last trick you do because of the mess. So you really do have to think about where it's going to fit in the show, probably either just before an interval or whether or not you've got a quick clean-up method. Because if you're going to do the rest of the show and you've got blood dripping down your arm, might be a bit awkward. And at the end, Dan talks about how to clean up properly, how to empty the blood out of the knife, and how to do all of that sort of thing, so it keeps clean, keeps functioning well, and it's well maintained and looked after. Because this is a great prop. It's not a cheap prop, and it will last you a lifetime provided you look after it. None of that is difficult. It doesn't take long, but just make sure you do it. When it came to actually how to use the knife and how to perform it, the bit with the amazing Johnathan at the end was brilliant. It was much clearer to me exactly how to produce the blood and when to do it than with Dan's explanation. I was originally concerned that my hands weren't big enough. When I saw the knife, I saw the handle, and I saw how it's gimmicked. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get away with it. That has now been alleviated thanks to the tutorial about how you customize it to make everything fit your hands so that everything's in the right place. I'm really happy with it. It is probably the best knife through arm. It's not one of the ones that you get in the joke shop. It's nice that you can get people to feel it. Obviously, funny enough, no one really ever goes for the blade to test the blade of a knife to see how sharp it is. They're all more likely to do that because they don't want to cut themselves. So you don't really have to worry about the dull edge when you're having it examined. The really nice thing is that the fake blood that you make will wash off, just a quick wipe. It'll come out of clothes. The amazing Johnathan's got a different brew to Dan, but also that'll wash out of your clothes as well, or your spectators' clothes. You can wipe it off, so there's no staining whatsoever, which is very important. At the right time, in the right show, in the right place, this is the best trick. It is the amazing Johnathan's knife through arm. It's $157.99. And that is it for this week, I'm afraid. Apart from, I forgot to mention at the start, it's my birthday. Well, it's not. It's Monster Magic's birthday. It is 1 year today that Monster Magic got its first ever order. Who would have thought I would make it a year? I know some people did. I wasn't so sure. I'm still not 100% on the second year. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of positive comments about Monster Magic that mean an incredible amount, and it makes all the hard work easier. You know, this is something I love doing. I am so lucky to be able to do it, and I literally couldn't do it without you guys. But also, so to celebrate 1 year, it would be only fitting if I offered a discount. So for today and tomorrow, there will be a discount code popping up when you log on to Monster Magic for 10% off anything you like. So yeah, fill your boots. The code will pop up. Don't worry, you don't have to buy everything in one order. It's a multiple use code for the entire weekend, so you don't have to order everything at once. But I mean, it'd be nice if you collated it together, obviously, because that makes my life a bit easier. It's going to be easy to remember, so you don't necessarily have to copy and paste. Just apply that discount code at your checkout and you'll have 10% off your entire order. And it is an absolute pleasure for me to do that for you guys. Other than that, what can I say? Have a great weekend. You know what? The sun is actually coming out. Please have a lot of fun with the best hobby in the world. Goodbye.